What is the difference between debtor in possession and a trustee? Have you ever wondered what happens to a business when it goes bankrupt? In the world of bankruptcy, especially under Chapter 11, two key roles come into play: the debtor in possession and the trustee. Let's break down what each of these roles means and how they differ from one another. First, let's talk about the debtor in possession, often referred to as the DIP. This is the business or individual that is filing for bankruptcy but still retains control over their assets. They continue to operate the business during the bankruptcy process. This is a unique feature of Chapter 11 bankruptcy, where the goal is to reorganize debts and keep the business running. The DIP acts much like a trustee, but they are still the original owner. Under Section 1107 of the Bankruptcy Code, the debtor in possession has a fiduciary duty. This means they must act in the best interests of both the creditors and the bankruptcy estate. They are responsible for proposing a plan to restructure their debts and continue operations. The DIP can even incur new debts, but they need court approval for significant decisions. Now let's shift our focus to the trustee. A trustee is a third party appointed by the bankruptcy court or the United States trustee. Their role is to take control of the debtor's assets and manage the bankruptcy estate. This is more common in Chapter 7 bankruptcy, where assets are liquidated. However, in Chapter 11, a trustee may be appointed if there are issues like fraud or gross mismanagement by the debtor in possession. When a trustee is appointed, they replace the debtor in possession. Their main job is to protect the interests of the creditors. They manage or liquidate assets and oversee the bankruptcy process impartially. Unlike the debtor in possession, the trustee does not have ownership of the business. They act solely on behalf of the creditors and the court. So, what are the main differences? The debtor in possession retains control and operates the business, while the trustee takes control and manages or liquidates assets. The debtor in possession is not appointed. They remains in possession by default unless a trustee is needed. The trustee is appointed for specific reasons, such as fraud or mismanagement. In practical terms, having a debtor in possession allows a business to keep running and attempt to reorganize its debts under court supervision. This can help preserve jobs and maintain value. A trustee steps in only when necessary to protect creditors' interests, ensuring that the bankruptcy process is handled fairly. Understanding these roles is essential for anyone interested in bankruptcy and business operations. Whether you are a business owner or just curious about how bankruptcy works, knowing the difference between a debtor in possession and a trustee can provide clarity in this complex process.